Oh, yeah, Kai's has been... Hold on. Hold on.
Oh,
we'll
dear.
get those
Well,
out.
listen, you're going to have to show them off in a second, because for now, we are into the pick ban. We'll cut back to Twiggy's cam in a second. It's Twisted and Dive banned away. Dive still picking up a lot of bans, which means GeForce is on the table, and I kind of expect BPP to pick that one up in third place.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, probably. This is, again, divisive maps, but Twisted I don't see as a divisive one, right? Twisted is just kind of tech. It's very simple, and I feel like you're only banning that out if you're very unconfident on tech in general, or you expect your the opposition to win against you specifically. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a scary ban for Gravity, if they overestimate their opponent. Well, I guess if they're scared of their opponent, but I mean, to be fair, when you're against Paco, you probably would be relatively scared. At least it would be smart to be slightly scared.
Yeah, could well be, and we did see BPP on Twisted last week, and they did look pretty solid.
Yeah,
the carriers jingle away wildly. There is GeForce, so Gravity actually picking it up themselves. Obviously feeling confident on it anyway, despite the fact that Paco has a relatively untouchable time on it at the moment.
Yeah, well, we saw a couple teams get within about half a second of it yesterday, but that's there's still a lot to be gained by most other teams. Yeah, exactly. That's a scary map to play against Paco on, but most of the other ones, we'll see the record holder later today in Airboss, because still has, I think, a good 5 of the records.
Yeah, it was looking really, really quick last week. So Epos definitely driving well. Cosmos, the final pick for BPP. Gravity having to think about theirs. And then of the 2 remaining maps that have not shown up in the picker bans, we will get a random one as the decider if we do get that far in it. And I am hoping for a couple of map 7s today. I definitely think it is a strong possibility.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as we've said several times, it's going to be a very good day of Trackmania. All of the teams seem relatively evenly matched. Maybe not completely, but well, that's what happens when you get to pick your seed. So, final map. Come on, Gravity.
They're having a serious
take their
think
time.
about this.
Really having to think about it.
There's only three maps
left to.
Yeah, backflip, surf, and. What's the final map?
So I wonder if that is, there are 2 maps we like here, or there are 2 maps we really dislike
here. Yeah. And do we want to try and force the decider? Edge, of course. So it'll be Surf, which we have seen quite a lot of, and Edge then as the decider. Here is proof that Twiggy has not scammed anyone. The cat ears are in fact on. Thank you, Twiggy. Very cool.
Yep. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. We will be heading into game here very shortly, as it's going to be an interesting one. It's Tubes to kick us off here, which some teams are looking comfortable on, and well, I guess we're going to find out how comfortable BPP actually are on it, because it's a brave way to start off a match.
It is definitely. Well, yeah, I mean, I think there are braver ways to start. Imagine if, wait, BPP was first pick, so imagine if, I don't know, if there's any maps that are particularly scary when it comes to Gravity, but I mean, there are probably more interesting picks. I think Tubes has kind of solidified its places. Of course, Tubes are a bit of a scary surface in general in Trackmania, as we've seen several times in the World Tour, but I think that map has kind of turned out surprisingly consistent for teams.
Yeah, it definitely has. Twiggy, you do have to drink some water as well. That's very important before we get into game here.
I don't have any water prepared. I'll drink Fanta for you.
Oh dear. Well,
I'm sorry. I'll go get some. I'll go get some in the break.
Yeah, that's.
We have an hour between every game.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Here we are. It's warm-ups on Tubes, and it's going to be fun. I've been looking forward to today's matches in particular. I think yesterday we had a pretty solid idea how a lot of the matches were going to go. Obviously, we were then surprised by Trident in our first match of the day, but then we had 5 hours to recover for it and get ready for our next matches. Today, God knows, anything feels like it could happen. BPP versus Gravity underway on Tubes.
All right, let's see who's going to come out on top here. Obviously, I think every game we go into, I think yesterday we definitely had preconceptions of what was going to happen in most games, but in this one, we're probably going to have to wait and see for the first couple of rounds in every series. Oh, well, that's an interesting start. You don't expect that from Paco. He slams into a pole, flies off to the side, and now Legu by themselves.
Yeah, Legu and Jan with a very low jump, so more speed from Legu, trying to chase down Marsley, who's built up a solid half-second lead in the first half of the map here as we head towards those tubes for the first time. We'll see how well it goes. Legu, I feel like, is definitely going to be pushing as we head into those, which could mean potentially catching, could also potentially mean giving up an ace here in the first round. That's a touch from Marsley, means a lot of lost speed, and Legu is going to catch on the way on.
Yeah, Jan almost gets that as well, but no. Staying just out of the wall there. Marsley goes forward. Oh, Jan almost slams into the plastic barrier, but it's Legu that falls back. And where did Marsley go?
Vanished, fell off a pipe, and that could mean it will. No! Paco was in position to at least pick up the draw, but slamming into that final edge of the pool means Marsley takes third, and it's a round win for Gravity at the start.
Yeah, this is an interesting start going on here. You don't expect that from Paco. Maybe a slow warm-up happening. We did see that from a couple of teams yesterday as well. The warm-up taking a little bit.
Yeah, taking a while. And there is a conversation going on about the match times and the fact that people did think that the third match was going to be at 8 CEST. And yeah, so did we.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought as well until about 15 minutes ago. So,
yeah,
you know.
having just according to the bracket that was tweeted out that we just showed there, the most recent knowledge that we have is 9 PM CEST for the final match. So we'll see.
It could be a typo. But...
It could be a typo. We could be going at 8 PM CEST. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you never know. Obviously, New Zealand has become a country in the same way. And
so you got
8 and 9 are very
New
close
Zealand
together.
With the hyphen in the middle as well.
Yes, with a hyphen. Yeah, of course.
It's very important
right
to get
now.
the hyphen.
Gravity are taking a bit of momentum here and running with it. First and second place. Paco has more speed, but not quite as good of an exit there on the wall. Paco falls back into third place once again, back into fourth place. It's all about who gets the better bounces here as Marsley and Jan might just get it. Oh, it's so close. It's a good time as well.
Great round. Well done. Yeah. That's very impressive from Gravity. They are starting out very, very strong here with another ace, 5-1, and they're kind of laying down a bit of a challenge here to BPP.
Yeah, this is an interesting way. Well, it's not what we expected to happen whatsoever. At the very least, in the first map picked by BPP, you expect them to at least have an edge on it, but not right now at all.
I mean, the issue being that was just a clean round. The whole four drivers
yeah, exactly.
made
it was
cleanly
just good.
To the end. It was just pace in the end that won it out for Gravity. And it might just be pace again. It's that final jump, not the final jump, the second last jump. The transition from that first hard pipe to the right down onto the wall just seems to be going a little bit better for Gravity. They're carrying more speed through it. And if that is the case again, expect to see a swapping of positions. Jan looking to overtake Paco. Marsley trying to pull away from Legu. Here we go into that pipe. That's good from Marsley. I like the line. And it is going to be Marsley pulling away just a little bit. Legu is still there though. And carrying the speed, but Legu falls off the outside. And all of a sudden the ace is on again. Marsley and Jan will ace again. And they're just the more practiced team on the identity.
Yeah, that's just better. Straight up, another really good time, a 104.3, and Jan overtaking Paco there. That's what they are, just the faster team on this map.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, that 1 point that BPP picked up, you know, it looked like, oh, maybe that's not a great round for them. All of a sudden, it's looking like maybe that's the best round they're going to get on tubes.
Oh, maybe not. Marsley does touch the wall there, back down into fourth position by a pretty considerable margin. You're not gaining any speed anywhere through there. This is not one of the maps with a bunch of reactors all over the place where you know, if you touch the wall, it's not the end of the world. This one, a little more punishing. Lots of elevation changes, and sandwiched between the two BPP players at the moment. Paco trying to get that overtake done and answer back with an ace. Those 3 points would be incredibly important. You really cannot let them get any more, well, any more points whatsoever, but one would be, oh dear, okay, well, it definitely looks like it's going to be an ace.
Yeah, should be, so we'll stay on board with the cars in blue. They can't afford a mistake now, you're right. They do kind of need that ace. That's slow from Lego, and Paco is going to fully touch, and that means slow over the engine off as well. But there's respawns from both players on Gravity. They're so far behind, but Paco falls off again. Paco, you gotta get there. Here come the cars in red. Paco, you can see
so
just
much
in front,
faster.
But they fall off. Marsley just has to watch as Paco crosses the line. It's an ace. It's the messiest one we'll see.
Oh, don't tempt fate, no, please.
Okay.
That was a round. I like how it just looked like Paco didn't turn and Jan just full right turned on the pipe and just.
That's a round. That's and I mean, Legu just finished with a 104.8, a solid time up front, and then just watched for 9 seconds as nobody else managed to get the car across the line.
Yeah, that was well, I mean, Gravity know that they have a couple rounds to play with, I guess. So
I'm sure they'd prefer not to play with them.
I think
in that way.
BPPs might need to check up with their heart doctors though.
Yeah.
After that, that's a pretty scary round for them.
Honestly, pretty terrifying. They still kind of need another ace. They are at least sitting in a position maybe they could do it, and this would be a monstrous comeback on map 1. That's good from Paco, carrying a lot of speed around the outside here and carrying a lot of speed into the uphill dirt means you are going to make big gains. Or at least small ones. That is enough of a gain to potentially overtake Jan into first place. It's a good transition from Jan. Legu doesn't quite have the speed, and that's a bad bounce from Legu as well. Looking like a draw all of a sudden. Paco should be cleanly to the line. Jan will crash, and Legu will make it in third place. So that's a round win for BPP. They close the gap, but they can't afford to give any more points up.
You need to be so careful with the angle you go into that water on. It's difficult to aim it off of a pipe, but if you're too close to the border, then you're not going to jump up in time. If you're too far away, then you're not going to get over it. And, well, nice. But not nice for BPP because now they need an ace.
Yeah, a little bit scary, but look, they gave up 2 aces to their opponents, and when you do that, you're going to find yourself in the position of needing to find a couple of your own pretty quickly. Nice. This is a good start to the round, though. They are at least in position for it.
Yeah, Lego takes a really risky line trying to get as close as possible. Oh, my lord. High line there as well.
So
Can have so much exit speed, but you do drop yourself into 4th position whilst doing that. All Gravity need now is 1 player in the top 2, so Lego is going to need to fight Marsley for that 2nd position right now, and hopefully with optimal lines that will happen. Marsley gets a very suboptimal route through the water there, and playing with the walls a little bit, but both of them now need to catch up a couple attempts here.
Yeah, this is huge from BPP. They've put themselves back in that position 2 ace. This is their map pick. Oh, and it's just turned into disaster. Legu couldn't keep it clean to the end. Double respawns. Paco crosses in first place with a 104.3. That's quick. But Jan and Marsley are right behind to turn it into the draw and pick up the 1 point they needed.
Oh, dear. That is really unfortunate. I mean, all facilitated just by the couple of very, very weak rounds from BPP. It's a nice time from Paco. Once again, a 104.3 is incredibly good, but it's just not enough when, you know, your teammate has made one. Like, they put themselves in a position where one mistake ends the game there. So
yeah. And look, the scoreboard will say 10-7 at the end of that, and it doesn't tell the story of how close that was. That was up until the final 3 or 4 seconds of the track. BPP about to ace, BPP about to tie it up at 9-9. And just one final crash, one final exit. We did see Legu struggling a couple of previous rounds on that kind of entry into the plastic wall as well. Kind of missing the line, playing it too safe and kind of crashing into the wall on the way through. Whatever the result is, it does mean that Gravity pick up the first map. It does mean that BPP now at some point will need to win one of their opponent's maps.
Yeah.
And their first attempt at it will come here on Tempest.
Yeah, I mean, that really didn't look like it was BPP's map pick, but it definitely was. And
it did at the end, though, right? Like, they picked up the pace.
Yeah,
they were in ace position and things like that. If that was one of the earlier rounds turning into a draw, that's no problem. It's the fact they just didn't warm up quickly enough. They weren't ready to play.
Yeah, for sure, but I think those times were really forced out of them. Gravity were driving very quick times. Yeah. It's not like they were making mistakes. Oh, sorry, BPP were making mistakes and letting Gravity in for those couple of rounds that they gave up aces for. It was just Gravity driving quickly, and that's really unfortunate for BPP that Gravity warmed up that quickly. Because, yeah, if you're forced to drive some of your, well, very close to your personal bests in the first map of the series, it's a difficult task to do, and right now, obviously, on Gravity's first map pick, you would pick them to be the victors here.
Yeah, well, Jan does have the lead, but Marsley has dropped a little ways behind. It's a very high jump, so Lego and Paco should be holding on to that 2nd and 3rd place for the moment. If there's a mistake from Jan, there is 2 cars in blue there to catch back up. It's going to be not particularly close to the line. A nice draw and a 108.7 from Jan sets the tone for this one. It's another quick round, and I'm enjoying this match so far, Twiggy. It's pretty much everything I think we were hoping for.
I'm sorry for the no gamba. Here's gamba. 2 minutes you get because it's already late. You get 2 minutes.
All right.
I wonder. Okay, this is a good social experiment. I want to see how much goes to gravity now.
Jan.
Now that they've already won their opponent's map pick. Yeah, Jan
does
with a
the fact that Jan has crashed change the betting?
Does that change the betting right now? I mean, to be fair, even at the moment. So, Lego out in first place, and Paco is going to get a nice low jump. Good landing as well. It's not enough to overtake Marsley, but it's definitely enough to be right up next to them. Also goes wide on the ice. Should be fine. Yeah, just about. Loses a bit of exit speed though.
Yeah, it was the exit having to go kind of wider into the follow-up turn than you'd want to. And once again, starting off this slide very inside. Going to land very far over to this right-hand side. Go deep on it. It should mean that Paco and Legu are in first and second place heading into the final 2 jumps. And this could be the ace, but Paco has to respawn. So does Marsley. Legu alone in first place. Jan has taken third, still behind Paco. Despite it, Lego respawned as well up in front, trying to keep track of it, and I don't know where it is.
Wait, that's a better landing!
Jump
That's
from
a better
Jan.
landing!
Where did Paco even go? Lego will take second, it's a draw.
Marsley respawns. Marsley respawns. Marsley respawns. It doesn't matter at this point, Marsley. You don't need to make the jump anymore, but there we go. Just proving that they can do it. Hey, that's...
Yeah, average round on Tempest, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, true.
Kind of wild. That looked like BPP were going to be picking up their ace, and how important will that turn out to be? That, you know, they were in position to do it right up until the final couple of jumps. They had a buffer to work with. They just needed to be a little bit safe through those final couple of jumps, and they would have had the full 3 points. But we stayed tied.
I think that's the thing. It's very difficult to safe jumps where the gap that you're trying to get through is the size of your car, pretty much. Jan, again, slow off the start. And Marsley is the one trying to keep away Paco and Lego from getting an ace here. From experience, seems to be a, well, not easy task, but definitely you have a chance of getting it done. Much more inside turn here, much better exit speed is going to keep him up with the 2 BPP players here, but I think these 2 teams have a very similar map pool because they all seem to be packed together no matter what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Marsley, a little bit awkward on the landing there, and there's going to be a lot of exit speed here from Legu. It's not going to be enough to catch up into the jump. Looking for mistakes. Paco and Marsley are both quite low, but they both do make it through, and Marsley will regain the lead heading into the final jump. Who's risking? Both of them very similar height. Legu will bounce, doing exactly what I think Paco did at the end of the last round. Marsley holds it to the line.
Nice time.
And Legu takes third. It's a third draw in the row, and that missed ace opportunity on the last round, Twiggy, is looking more and more like it could be decisive.
I mean, Marsley forced to get within 0.1 of his live PB there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, well, at this point, it's just online PB, isn't it? Oh wait, no, it's PB online and world record.
Sure.
Yeah, probably. I reckon PB is still live. So yeah, no, get within a 1/10 of his live PB. Improves it by 2,000ths. This time it's Legu with a slow start.
Where is the prediction that we're just locked in this match for the next 2 hours as they draw forever on this map?
We will find the map 8.
We'll figure it out. BPP looking still to regain a map, but Marsley is quick, and the problem is this time around it's Legu who's behind. Marsley's been picking up a few round wins, and that does mean that something needs to change for BPP heading into the final turns and the final jumps off this map. Marsley, I think, caught a little bit of penalty dirt there, so Paco could be through into first place. A very close battle up front. Very low jump from Marsley, looking to get the overtake done, and will in fact be ahead of Paco then going into the final jump. Paco looking to go very low this time around. It is very low, and I think that means Paco first to the line. Paco cleanly first to the line. Legu is crashing, and that means it's a draw again.
Again, Marsley is forced there to get a PB and just can't quite pull it out. Goes a little safer on that final jump than Paco, who just goes perfectly low. But it's a draw once again because Legu is having a bit of trouble.
It's a draw, and Paco at least picks up the round win this time. I mean, these teams are pushing each other to very quick rounds, and honestly, impressively consistent. Sure, there's been kind of 1 or 2 cars crashed in each round, but up the front, 108.6, kind of starting to be where you need to be to win a round, and winning the round looking more and more important every time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got a 0.6 pretty much every round so far, apart from that one funny round that we had. But yeah, no, Paco's definitely warming up into this. Maybe, I mean, started to get towards the world record in the last map as well, but this time, oh, where did Yan go?
Double respawn for Yan.
I thought he made it. I think he clipped the edge and then just tipped over in a bad position. Marsley now once again fighting for first place, but already about half a second down. That is, well, from what Paco's been doing so far, pretty much impossible to make up.
Well, you say that, except I've seen what happens on this, and I now expect Paco to crash and end up in third place, giving us another draw. Oh, Lego, that's close. It's a very tight battle once again at the front, but it's not tight enough for Marsley really to catch up unless there's a big mistake from Paco. There won't be. That's Paco in first, Marsley in second, Lego in third, and we finally have separation between the teams as BPP take a 1-point lead.
Yeah, Paco with great consistency so far, and I think that final jump was slightly safe. He lost about 2/10 on the final jump to Marsley, so good control there as well. Knew that he had almost a second's worth of time to give up if he wanted to. So good that we're seeing a little bit of control from the players, despite the fact that they're getting pushed within about 3/10 of world record every single time.
Yeah, and it's a quick start again from Paco, who... Well, it was a quick start from Paco up until that transition when he falls behind a little bit. But carries speed and does sit in second place. Not quite the lead that had been built up. And that's so low from Yan. God damn. That was quick.
It was beautiful. Gets overtaken once again on the ice, obviously. Very difficult to get a solid line on there. But, well, I mean, it's easier than a liquid line. I guess. Anyway, but yeah. But places change over once again as we go through it one more time. But Paco's just made a lead out of nowhere one more time in the turnaround. Does Yan get through? I think he got through.
Yeah, safe.
Marsley is there as well. Everybody is together once again. It's all going to come down to the height of the jumps. Paco should be safe no matter what, but Yan and Marsley are right behind. They'll get that second and third done. And
normal service is resumed.
Yeah.
Back
you know,
to
when we said this was going to be a close match, I don't think this is what we thought.
Nope, that is 6 draws. No, 5 draws, 1 round win for BPP so far here on Tempest. And it puts BPP on track point.
Yeah, historically this map pool has been very much you learn 4 maps. You're good at those 4 maps. Generally, you're going to come up against another team with a map pool very different to you. I think this is the first time we've really seen 2 teams with the exact same map pool because they are very confident on the exact same maps.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to G-Force later on as well, and I think feels like we're probably going to get there. I don't remember what position it was picked in, but we'll see. Marsley holds the lead for the moment. Legu and Paco are sitting close. Now, the map is so close at the moment that despite the fact Gravity are down 1 point, it could very much go either way still. And if Gravity pick this one up after such a long, grueling, close-fought battle, it is going to be kind of disastrous, you'd think, for BPP's matchups.
Paco almost slammed into the wall there going through that line, but I think Marsley goes high, will lose out on a position just about. It's really neck and neck between those 3 players.
Potential ace.
Marsley risks it and gives away the ace. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's so close as well, but Marsley tried to get first place out of it and gave away the ace instead.
Oh, well, there you go. Finally, BPP do pick up an ace. And all of a sudden, just like that, this battle on Tempest is done. 10-6. And, I mean, technically, that's a bigger win for BPP than the win for Gravity was on Tubes. But once again, scoreboard absolutely not telling the full story there, Twiggy.
Yeah, no, not whatsoever. That was absolutely brilliant from both teams. I mean, it really, like, that's one of the first times we've really seen a team forced to make a first or last kind of decision there. And Marsley really went for it, tried to claw back that lead, or maybe even just force a draw, but gave away the ace instead. So this is going to be really good all throughout. I think the fact that Gravity have picked G-Force as their second pick is very telling as to the map pool that is going on between these 2.
Yeah, going to be a lot of fun. We'll get to G-Force in a little bit, but for now, we're on to Valley. This is BPP's second map pick. They lost their first one, then Gravity lost their first pick. We're looking for a team to actually show us that they can get it done on their pick, and it'll be BPP then to move into the lead of this match.
Yeah. Valley, another one of those maps where we really haven't seen teams that are, you know, exemplary on it compared to other teams. It's just teams will be faster, generally, more practiced. So I think this is going to be very similar to what we saw in the last 2 maps. Maybe Masley having a little bit of a wobbly time there. Good recovery, to be fair, but still down by about a second.
Yeah, and that is very quick from Paku through the middle section and fighting against Jan. I think the big thing just comes down to the identity on this one, right? We've seen some players be quick through the rest of the map, but consistency on the identity just hasn't been there, even for some of the teams that have picked this one. So if one of these teams can pick it up, and you'd hope it's BPP, given they took us here, then all of a sudden this map is very winnable.
And this is staying between a 10th here. Paco going for the more difficult line, but it gives you more exit speed when you get through there. Although Jan slid less, so we'll see the angle on this final one. Both of them through unscathed. Jan is further round, and I think Paco has more speed, but Jan is inside. Oh my lord, that is close. They stayed a 10th from each other the whole map there.
What a first round, and Lego just keeps it clean behind. It was Marsley who made that mistake earlier. We were on board when it happened, and it wasn't even really a big mistake. It was just almost catching a wheel on the big jump onto that upward road and then having to readjust, releasing and losing a couple of seconds because of it. And if Marsley doesn't make that error, then that's an unbelievably close round between all 4 cars.
Yeah, absolutely. We might just see that happening this time around. Obviously, Marsley up there with everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jan.
Oh, Lego.
Wall touch. Oh, Lego. Okay, never mind. It's not the end of the world if an opponent does it as well. So, 2 groups now. This time it is Marsley fighting with Paco here. We didn't really see him on the identity, but he stayed the same kind of distance away from the leaders after his mistake. So, we'll see if that rings true once again. Falling a little further back than Jan did from Paco this round.
Little touch from Lego, but it's not a problem with touching with your front wheel as you go around there. Not losing a lot of speed, but losing a little bit of speed. Enough to maybe give Jan hope. Respawn from Marsley, but Jan is overtaking Lego. We could be heading for an ace, or we could just be heading for the exact same finishing order as last time. Paco clean up in front is through the jump. Jan is crashing. No, he's not. Manages to make it, but Jan is going to be very close to Lego. There's good speed from Jan, though, and it is the same finishing order as last time, and it's a very similar time from Paco to win the round again.
Yeah, absolutely. BPP just out ahead on this one, and it is completely facilitated by Paco being consistent and fast. Gravity are being pushed to their limit, and you can see that with Marsley trying to catch up and slightly misjudging that jump. I think we're going to see that throughout this whole one. It seems like BPP just have an edge here.
And it, like you say, it is the barest of edges at the moment. It was, you know, the smallest of mistakes from Marsley in the previous round, necessitating a release. And then this time around, it came down to that identity, and Marsley just not quite aiming the jump. And 1 respawn was enough to give that win to BPP and give them a 2-point lead. And they're starting off very quickly here in round 3.
Yeah, Marsley keeping up, but Jan is also very close behind. It is Lego who is in first place this time around, taking over the mantle from their teammate. Marsley goes a little wider there, is going to have more exit speed going up into the... I mean, that's not good. That's at least a second behind. Looks like it's going to be more like 3 by the time they get to the next checkpoint here. Marsley goes once again for that more angled approach. Definitely a higher likelihood of getting through. But it does give you a slight disadvantage on the landing. Trying to overtake Paco here towards the end. Jan, oh my lord, has to respawn on that one with the engine off, and Paco still takes first place just about. Marsley doing everything they can to keep up, but it is not enough. The round win once again goes to BPP.
Consistency on the identity, just nailing those jumps every single time, has now been good for 2 round wins for BPP out of the 3 that they have picked up, and that's a 3-point lead they have. They are looking great. This was a very solid map pick for them, Twiggy.
Definitely. I think their problem on their first map pick was that Gravity were also very good. And although that is the case here as well, they're not quite as well practiced, not quite as consistent as BPP right now. Jan once again making a tiny error at the back, sending him about 3 tenths behind. But Marsley keeping up once again. It's just the thing is they're being pushed to their limit.
Yeah, Paco with a little nose bump there, but that's absolutely fine with the reactor on, still holding the lead. Lego is chasing down Marsley. And Gravity, if there's one thing they can't afford right now, it's to give away an ace. They need to be careful, but also really quick. It's a very fine line they're trying to walk. Oh dear.
Oh, Jan. Oh, really just didn't have the space with the angle that he had. going into that one, and once again, it looks like it's just going to be a round win. Marsley is going to have to push as hard as possible to try and force a draw here, because Jan is far enough back that unless there is a respawn from a BPP player, there is no way that overtake is happening. Marsley is through, should take at least second here, and Paco should be getting first place pretty easily. In fact, that's a very good time. A 108.47 from Paco is absolutely blinding. But victory once again, it's the same story happening every time. Paco is fast, consistent. Lego is good enough to give at least third place every single round, and despite the fact they are quick, they are not as quick as Paco. And Gravity are doing everything they can to keep up, just about getting second every round.
It is a monstrous performance so far on Valley from Paco, who is head and shoulders above everyone else in the lobby right now. And all it takes is one brilliant round from Legu at this point, and we're done. Even just good enough, as you said, because Legu has consistently been getting third. And that might just be it. Yeah, Legu and Paco have not looked like making particularly big mistakes from here on out at any point.
Yeah, again, Yen just overcooks it a little bit, and that's enough. That's enough to clip a wheel, get flipped over. That's about the end of it. And yeah, I mean, BPP's lines just look a lot more tight together. They look a lot more practiced at the first half of the map at the very least. The identity is relatively similar, apart from the couple of mistakes that Gravity have made. Paco, I mean, his setup is so tight to the angle. Like, it's such an acute angle that he goes for that it always looks like he's about to crash, but every single time has got it so far. Has not made one mistake on that identity. Gives the win to his teammate this time around. But it is an ace either way, an 11 for the scoreline. Very good map for BPP.
Yeah, businesslike. Just got the job done and came in, won 4 rounds, aced on a 5th, and we're out of here with an 11-4 scoreline in favor of BPP. And time to get maybe a little bit nervous for Gravity. The next map, their selection is GeForce, which is a map that BPP are very good at.
Yes, BPP obviously holding the world record at the moment.
Yeah.
With Paco's time, and we didn't really see a lot of teams get incredibly close to it. It's one of the maps where it's difficult to get close to the world record, even if you drive a good time, because, you know, there are so many kind of tricks that lose you a little bit of time if you don't do it absolutely perfectly. So in live rounds, we're not going to see too many people getting within a couple of tenths of the world record. But either way, if Paco can get anywhere near it round on round, they should be winning this map as well. But Gravity picked it. We'll see what they can do.
And I will tell you, this world record by Paco, you can see it in the top left there, 112.292 is blazingly quick, but as you can see, Marsley about a second behind that. Jan is within a couple of tenths of that for PB time, so it should still be close up at the front for sure if both of these players are consistently hitting their kind of potential on this map. And then it's really up to Lego and Marsley to maybe separate it out as well, to turn those very quick times into round wins for the team instead of just a draw.
Yeah, Jan off to a brilliant start so far. Not a single tenth of mistake from Jan at all. Just actually getting out ahead of Paco on pace here completely. Driving very well. Marsley is going to give up third position, but is anybody going to make a mistake? Yeah, Marsley goes too high. A little bit too much rotation on the car. Sends the wheel over the edge, but Jan is so far ahead now. It's a second ahead of Legu. Probably would have been if Paco didn't make a mistake. Still about a half a second. I thought that was Jan respawning. It was it was not. It was Marsley respawning once again. Inconsequential to Jan, who looks like he's on track to set another world record here. Oh no!
There you go. That's the caster curse.
That could have been so good.
In full force. Legu leads now by 2 seconds, but that 2 seconds is to a teammate. Legu is full safing it. Paco is full safing it. Why wouldn't you? You have the lead, you have the time, you have the ace. BPP jump up by 3 points.
Look, greatness comes with the risk of failure. That was not my fault.
Some people are born to be caster cursed, and some have the caster curse thrust upon them.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. I will never apologize for caster cursing anyone. Mold, cope, sieve.
Cope and sieve. Just such a fun
sieve,
phrase.
Mold.
Every caster curse should be 10 push-ups. I do not have the strength in my body. Jan's crashed.
No way. Yeah,
that's tough. Marsley now in a battle with both members of BPP, and it would not be a good look to give up 2 aces in a row on the map that you picked to potentially drop down 3-1. Marsley slow on the entry, made a mistake here last time, looking to not hang a wheel. Lego a little bit slow, but it's very unlucky
that's
exit.
Unfortunate. Yeah, there is no way you can catch the wheels when you're that rotated to get a bug slide there. So there was no chance that he was going to get that one done, and that is basically just a free ace here. Once again, BPP can safe this. It's about 3 seconds that you just less than 3 seconds that you give up. Oh, like it was a little wobbly there. That's fine though. But yeah, there's no way you're catching up. They can safe this final turn, or should be able to, just about. Paco is going to opt not to risk it, but there we go. Lego should still get ahead by a couple of seconds there.
Yeah, only lost about a second and a half there on the safeway, which is interesting to know. I'm sure these players already knew that. They had it calculated down, and they pick up another ace. BPP 6-0 up. Gravity already in the position where they absolutely will need an ace of their own between now and 10 points if they do want to win this map.
Yeah, I like that the discussion is still going on in chat of whether or not I should do push-ups because I cursed the team. This is like, I could, right?
Yeah.
But if you redeem anything at that point, I'm not going to do it then.
Biggie, did you
it's
know,
one or
by
the
the way,
other,
that there is a feed on Twitch where you can see all of the channel point redemptions that people have made on your channel and either
really?
mark them as done or decline them and refund the points?
Yeah,
you haven't accepted anything in 2 years, which means I can just refund everyone for everything they've done on your channel.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. The default is that I take their points, and that's the way it is.
Ooh, Marsley. Big crash. Legu is gaining, has speed over Marsley, but not enough to catch up. And the battle up at the front then is tight. This is the battle we were hoping for. Jan versus Paco, both incredibly quick on this map. Paco is in front, but losing time to Jan at the moment, who was a little bit quicker through that time, but Paco has held on with a good landing. One more jump, still a chance for the lead to change hands. Jan goes early. Jan is gaining, but not by enough. 44 thousandths, and Paco takes the round win.
It was really well played on both of those from Jan, but it's not quite enough to overtake Paco there. It's our first draw, and Gravity starting to warm up, but it's been a series of unfortunate events this map so far, and now they really just have to turn on the afterburners.
And I mean, if we do end up in a Tempest-like situation of like, oh, draw after draw after draw, BPP are 6 points ahead. That is disastrous for Gravity. They cannot afford that.
Yeah, no, they can't whatsoever. So far, a good start from both of them. Paco out ahead, but not by too much whatsoever. Not insurmountable for either of them. They go with a very good slide. Does overtake into second. And now, holding position for that ace. Jan goes very far out, and I think does touch the wall just a bit. I'm not sure if he lost any speed particularly, but still within reaching distance of everyone. Not anymore. Hung the back wheel once again, and Marsley's gone. That is definitely an ace. Surely there is no way that BPP can not win this map on this round.
Active caster cursing in full effect. Really looking for that
one there.
But that's another respawn from Jan as well. And we've seen the willingness from BPP to just go for the safe line at the end of the map as well.
Both of them can do that.
And I reckon absolutely this is the round to do it on. Paco is setting up to go for the jump, and Paco will, but Legu will just take the safe way. Guaranteed finish for Legu. Paco takes first. That's another ace. We're out of here. 10-1. BPP lead the match 3-1.
Indeed, a very convincing one. I think Gravity definitely their mouth was bigger than their stomach on that one. A little bit too overzealous on that pick.
Their eyes were bigger than their stomach, maybe. Yeah,
sure. Same, I mean, same thing technically, but hey,
well, it's definitely not the same phrase.
All right, am I doing push-ups for caster curses?
I think
about
so.
5?
Yeah,
for a caster
5 seems
right?
reasonable. You curse at far too high a rate for 10 to be reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, right? I'm not scared of doing push-ups. It's just that I don't want to do 10 per curse. That's insane. I would do like 100 a day.
Yeah, 5 seems reasonable. Here we go. 5 push-ups for Twiggy as we get ready. The next map will be Cosmos as well, which is going to be fun. It's going to be enjoyable. It is BPP's third pick of the match. And Gravity, well, they now need to win 3 in a row. That means they'd need to win on Cosmos, they would need to win on Surf, and then they'd need to take it to Edge and beat BPP there as well. At least one of the 3 might be reasonable, but they first need to get through Cosmos.
Yes, Cosmos. Good map.
Yes.
That's what I caught. That's what I caught from that.
Yeah. And we are in the correct cam as well, follow cam, so we'll get to see our bird's eye view throughout the track too. This is it, match point. BPP are up by 2. They've done the hard work. They've won twice on Gravity's maps and have lost once on one of their own as well. I suppose really the big question, Twiggy, is does anyone go for that AMD bounce?
Oh, well, I really want to see the AMD bounce, man. Like, I think we saw how conceivably the risk could outweigh the reward could outweigh the risk, right? Yeah. Man, that's a lot of words with an R in them. But I think it may be like, obviously our sample size, we saw it 4 times. One of those times it did not go well. Yes, exactly. 2 of the times it was pretty inconsequential. 1 of the times it definitely was enough to win a round. I think possibly it could be worth it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Heading towards it now. Does anyone go for it? Paco sets up wide but doesn't go for it, and Jan is a long way behind, so we didn't get to see, but it is going to be Paco leading from Marsley, leading from Legu, and this is feeling a little bit Valley-esque to me right now. Twiggy, at least it was right until the crash, and I'm not sure we're going to see a crash from either member from BPP on a map that they pick. Paco just touches slow, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Marsley actually had a worse incident. We'll make it.
Hey!
Don't cheer for that, Twiggy. They got aced. It's sad. These are sad moments.
But he turtled. That's
cool. It was cool. It'd be cool if they weren't getting aced.
Yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, this is the point where either the kind of momentum kicks in here for BPP, they get it done pretty quick, or Gravity have to fight their way back, and yeah, I think that is kind of the story that is going on right now. It is very much momentum is gone. You know, you lost your map pick, and then you lost both of your map picks.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a hit on the ego a little bit, and I think that makes it a little more difficult to push back against BPP here.
That's true. I nearly had to do push-ups after the last round.
Yeah, almost.
But it wasn't quite a curse. They still picked up the ace, and everything was A-okay. This round, Marsley just behind Legu. Paco is a little bit behind, and to be honest, that's still kind of scary, I think. That's the bounce!
Hey,
oh dear!
He did it! Oh
dear.
Went for it very early. I think that was a bad idea.
Very aggressive bounce from Paco.
I mean,
it is still in front of Jan.
Yeah, thank you, Paco, for that. Well, there's another inconsequential one. That really didn't lose him much time at all. Ooh, that was
forbidden
camera
angle.
Line, but yeah, forbidden camera angle. But a very good line from Marsley, but not enough to overtake Legu there. Paco, despite the interesting bounce, stays in 3rd position, and yeah, so that's another one to the tally of that. So we've now got about a 20% success, 20% success rate, like critical success rate, and a 20% critical failure rate.
Yeah. Oh, is it a full horse racing?
They're rolling a
time?
D5.
They are rolling full horse racing cast. There's no point. It's over
I
already.
don't even know how. I don't even know how. I've watched one horse race.
It goes a little bit like this, Twiggy. You say, oh, and it's like up in the front at the moment. Paco just behind. Marsley and Jan, they're trailing a long way down. That horse is looking slow. Paco still leading. It's close up at the front. Legu going. Legu is leading still. As we hit the next checkpoint, Legu takes the lead. Paco just under a 10th behind. Legu trails at this point, and Paco holding the lead goes for it. There's a bounce up ahead. Is anyone going to go for the bounce on this round? Doesn't look like it'd be necessary as Marsley trails by 6/10. 6/10 is the lead to the leaders at the moment. BPP, the car's in blue. It's Paco not looking for a bounce on this round. One more time, we head towards the identity, and it looks like the team in blue will be leading this match, will be leading this map, and will be taking home the glory tonight. Paco, who leads his teammate as Marsley is looking for something to happen, anything to happen through this identity. Paco leads. Paco looking for a full win, a sweep on this one. It's an ace as BPP cross the line.
Okay, I reckon I could do that. That was good. Nice. I feel, yeah, like, I've watched Uma Musume. I feel like I'm there.
Much more relevant in rounds that are actually close. Feels very unnatural in a round that's that one-sided.
Alright, let's have a go then. Alright. I'll wait until it's kind of split up just a little bit. Otherwise, it's just.
No, it's way more fun when they're all close together, Twiggy. You got.
Okay, well, Lego makes a mistake. Lego makes a mistake. Down by a couple of tenths now. Down by a couple of tenths. Paco going out into the lead, but Jan overtakes, and now Marsley there as well. Where did Paco go? Paco back. Paco in third. Paco, but down by only a couple of tenths, and Marsley. It's the overtake from Paco going into first place. Jan trailing. Lego trailing by another 7 tenths back from that. 7 tenths is the score there. It is going to be in this formation a 1-3 scoreline here. Marsley is going to take the win for the team, but that will not be enough to overtake BPP on this round. Paco goes forward over into first place once again. It's a better line. It's a much better line, and he stays in first. Lego, Jan right behind. Lego is still in fourth position. It's a very wobbly line from Jan, and Marsley will overtake his teammate as we go back to the plastic section. Back to the plastic section. Paco round the corner, staying ahead by 2.5 tenths. 2.5 tenths, staying there and going wide on that turn. Is going to get more exit speed into the identity for maybe the final time. If there is a mistake from a Gravity member, it will be over for Gravity now. It's good lines from both of them. It will hold position for the draw. How's that?
Golf clap.
Is that okay?
That was excellent.
Golf clap for the first
golf
time.
Golf clap for the horse racing. Yeah.
Love that.
It's I mean,
I'll take
look,
a golf clap.
The important thing is that was a draw, and BPP are now a single point away, and Gravity need to ace what 3 times in a row.
I know Nua's was better. You don't have to say that. It's all good. Golf casting.
Oh no! All 4 players moving up into first, second for Paco and Lego.
There's a little bit of a wheel clip there as we round the 3rd corner of this course. So far today, clear skies. BPP looking very comfortable out on track. There's a crash from Jan.
Jan now respawning, going back. Marsley heads forward, looking for an opening into the top 2 here. But Lego, Paco, still up there. Clear skies now as we move forward, and it's looking very likely that BPP take the map here.
It's a lovely angle around that corner. Really holding their line very well. The follow through absolutely flawless from both members of BPP. Final couple of turns to go. Now they've looked very good on this identity. Their short game has been wonderful so far today. And that will be the ace for BPP. They win the match. Twiggy, they're going to the middle stage of a world championship. We have to get a little bit excited for that.
Yeah, golf clap.
Full golf clap. That's
Amazing.
Very impressive, honestly. We kind of said coming into today's match that we weren't entirely sure how BPP would stack up. We didn't have a great idea coming out of their group because it was the group where a losing team only won a single map. It was a lot of sweeps. Yeah. Very hard to actually judge the quality coming out. Gravity gave a good fight to alternate attacks, but ultimately BPP showed up today and they showed that hey, they're really good at Trackmania, I think.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I think that was kind of what maybe we thought was going to happen. It was very difficult to tell after the first map. Obviously, Gravity took it away. But yeah, I think it was a slow warm-up thing there for BPP. Paco was completely on point that whole, the last 4 maps of that one. Didn't think it was going to be a 4-1. I think it was, surprising to me that Gravity didn't quite keep up. But I think, again, that was a momentum thing. They had difficulty getting back into the swing of things once they lost those couple of maps after their first map win there.
Yeah, and one of 3 teams then for today locked into the middle stage of the World Championship. I'm not going to be able to edit these scores as we go, so just imagine them. Or I might draw something on in paint in between matches. We'll see. I definitely won't. I'm too lazy.
I like that. I mean, you have easily enough time to.
It's 50 minutes. I'm not sure about that, Twiggy. It doesn't feel feasible, if we're being honest. But BPP 4-1. Shift versus Airwalkers. Not happening. Airwalkers are already through, which means that our next match will be Robbers versus Orcs GP Numlops. As things stand, we're an hour away from start time on that one. That is our understanding of what is going on, and hopefully that's true. So we will be taking a break for a little while here, and we will be back to bring you what should also be a very exciting match. This one goes down as a 4-1 in the book. If you look at the scores, Twiggy, it didn't look that close on many of the maps, but this was genuinely a very, very close match.
Yes, no, it was genuinely map on map, the performance from Gravity was actually very impressive. It was just that BPP had Paco, and just that consistency, that pace, especially on maps like Valley, was unbeatable. There was no way that they were getting that kind of consistency round on round to be able to take that one back.
Yeah. Well, that is going to